Hi, this is Mrs. Anderson, and these are your vocabulary words for your short story unit. Please take handwritten notes on the parts of speech, the definition, and a student-friendly definition as you watch this video. If you need to stop, pause, or rewind, remember this video is on my YouTube channel, Anderson SF Lancer, so that you can watch it and use those tools as often as necessary. So the first word is vigilance, and the part of speech is a noun. The definition of vigilance is alert attention or watchfulness. So what you see here is an image of a soldier who I believe is in Afghanistan, who is incredibly alert and watchful over the situation so that he can respond accordingly. So word number 2 is toying, and the part of speech for toying is a verb. If you look at this picture, I think Wonder Woman is doing exactly what the definition implies. She is a toy herself, but she is also considering casually or indecisively which toy to play with, Superman or Batman. Word number 3 is wince, and the part of speech for wince is a verb. And if you are wincing, you are shrinking or flinching involuntarily, especially in pain. And the image that I have here, I do not think the little girl is in pain yet, but she's anticipating that that ball is probably going to be kicked straight to her face or her stomach, which is going to make her shrink back and flinch as soon as the ball heads towards her. The next word is consternation, and I do want to point out again the T-I-O-N ending. I've mentioned a couple of times before in previous classes that when you see a word that ends in a shun, that's an indication that the part of speech is going to be a noun. So consternation is a noun that means confused, amazement, or fear. So this picture that you see, a man took a picture of his child when he was forced to eat his vegetables, and I believe it was a vegetable that his son had not eaten before. So you can see his amazed fear as he continues to eat the vegetables that he probably does not find very appetizing. So word number 5 is cower, and the part of speech for cower is a verb. The definition of to cower is to crouch down in fear. And one of the things that I think will be helpful for you to make sure that you're not confusing wince and cower is the fact that the definition for cower, the word crouch starts with a C, and cower also starts with a C. So when you're talking about the words that perhaps relate to fear in some way, one is crouching and the other is flinching. And the crouch starts with a C, just like cower starts with C. So the next word is synchronize, which is a verb, which means to match the timing of. And the image that I have here is an icon that they used to use in the Olympics for the sport of synchronized swimming. If you've ever seen synchronized swimming in the Olympics, which I now believe is actually called artistic swimming, the athletes use their arms and their legs in particular motions that happen at the exact same moment together. They have pairs, they also have a team event, and you can imagine the difficulty it takes to have everybody have the exact timed movements. The next word is neutralize, and the part of speech for neutralize is a verb. To neutralize means to counteract or cancel the effect of. So the picture that I have here is a group of people that were preparing for a protest, and they had concerns that perhaps the police would be using pepper spray. And one of the things that you can use to neutralize the effects of pepper spray is milk. So they have mass quantities of milk to be able to make sure that they can counteract or cancel the negative effects of pepper spray. So word number 8 is fumble, and fumble is a verb, and it means to do something awkwardly, especially when using the hands. So the picture I have here is a football player who has committed a fumble and was probably not securing or carrying the ball in such a way that it could be carried safely and was at an awkward position which allowed the ball to fall on the ground and possibly be received by the other team. The next word is saunter, and saunter is a verb. Notice that the definition begins with a to, and in this case, if you are sauntering, you are walking in a slow, relaxed manner without any hurry or effort. So the image that you see here is of two individuals who are probably on a vacation. You can tell from the bags that they have with them, and they don't look like they're walking with any speed. And it's almost aimless, that they're not in a hurry to get anywhere and just enjoying the view as they go. So word number 10 is entail, and the part of speech for entail is a verb. Again, notice that the definition begins with a to. So to entail means to make something necessary or to involve. And there's a little image of a checklist there so that you can see the necessity that's required in the definition. And if you look at the sentence, it talks about this particular character not quite being sure what a good education entailed, this idea that she wasn't sure what was necessary in order to receive a good education. The next word is drag, and the part of speech for drag is a noun. The definition of drag is an act of inhaling smoke from a cigarette. So you can see in the sentence that the students were taking last-minute drags on their cigarettes before they went in. And considering that smoking is something, especially in the state of California, that has fallen out of favor, I wasn't sure how many people had heard the word used in this context before. Word number 12 is mellow, and mellow is an adjective, so it's a word that's going to describe usually another noun. And in this case, something that is mellow is relaxed and pleasant. And I'm not sure if you've heard of the soft drink brand Mellow Yellow before, but the idea that it is a pleasant tasting soft drink that will put you in a nice relaxed state, although I find that hard to believe because it probably has a lot of sugar and can probably give you a sugar rush. The next word is soiled, and the part of speech for this is an adjective. And if you went and played in a lot of soil, you'd probably get really, really dirty, which may help you make an association for this word, because someone who has been soiled has been disgraced or discredited. So you can see a screenshot of a newspaper article that came up about USC's tarnished reputation in terms of its admissions programs, because there's been a number of scandals recently. So their reputation as an academic institution is perhaps being disgraced. Just like your hands would perhaps be getting dirty if you play in soil, the institution is perhaps looking a little dirty in terms of its reputation because of how it's been handling its admissions process. So the 14th word is accusation, and I'd like to point out, if you've noticed already, that this word ends in a tion, which is going to indicate that this is a noun. And an accusation is a charge or claim that someone has done something wrong. And if you notice the image, it's a finger pointing, almost like each person is accusing the other person of having done the wrongdoing. And the final word is drift, which is a verb. Notice the definition begins with a to. And to drift is to become carried along with no guidance or control. So I have a picture of a piece of driftwood which would be carried along by the ocean, and the wood has no control over where or what beach it's going to end up on, just as it explains in the sentence from the story about many students drifting off, especially female students, not taking their education seriously and kind of drifting through life without any guidance or control. So those are the 15 words for your short story unit. Please make sure that you are studying the parts of speech and the definition in order to be ready for the vocabulary assessment at the end of this unit. Take care. Bye.